Action. Oh, it's a little cold down here tonight in the... One more time, ready? Action. Oh, it's a little chilly down here in the museum tonight. You got a jacket?
How about Leo DeRocher's jacket from when he managed the Houston Astros?
Leo DeRocher's jacket? Have anything else that's similar to that in a Houston way?
How about this one? Leo DeRocher's jacket from when he managed the Houston Astros.
Leo DeRocher? Oh, wait, okay. Leo DeRocher, manager of the Houston Astros? Do you have any other outerwear that represents Houston and the Leo DeRocher? What?
Leo DeRocher?
Leo DeRocher, the famed manager of the Cubs and the Houston Astros. Do you have any other outerwear from the Houston Astros that shows the legacy of the program?
I think that's a mouthful, I know. You'll get it.
Okay, so hopefully I do a better job behind the camera. Leo DeRocher, I honestly didn't even know he managed the Astros.
Yeah, most people don't. You have to look at Baseball Almanac for some of this stuff, but of course he's more famous for managing the Giants and the Dodgers and the Cubs. But he did manage the Astros at the very tail end of '72 and into '73 for the full season. Pretty cool that he's a Hall of Fame manager who actually spent time with the Astros. Very little known fact.
So that is the actual jacket that Leo DeRocher wore in the dugout in the Astrodome.
Yeah, this is a game-worn jacket.
Very cool.
From Leland's auction, I believe. And again, it's got this beautiful embroidery on the chest, even bigger than on the jersey. You can see the shooting star is just spectacular. It's this chenille style of embroidery with really bold Astros. So you can't mistake that for any other team, that's for sure.
I love the varsity stripes on the collar there and along the bottom.
Yeah, and the color scheme, the blue and the orange just pops.
Sure does.
Especially in satin, where all these jackets were satin back in the day, but it really works with the orange.
Sweet.
This jacket is a Wilson size 44 with Leo's number 2. Later on, Starter would make most, if not all, of these jackets for Major League Baseball. But back then, Wilson was the primary manufacturer of these jackets.
He must have worn this mostly on the road. I mean, why would he need it in the dugout in the Astrodome?
It was probably worn more on the road than at home, that's for sure. I think the Astrodome used to brag of their 72-degree constant temperature that never dipped down to 71 and never got up to 73.
Stadium of the future. Now, we all know him as the Hall of Fame fiery manager, but he was also on the Munsters.
Yes, being on the Munsters puts him in rarefied air, as far as I'm concerned.
Why don't you try and hit it over the center field fence?
Gotcha.
I don't know whether to sign him with the Dodgers or send him to Vietnam.
I didn't know Mr. Rogers played for the Astros.
Well, that does look kind of Mr. Rogers-ish, doesn't it?
It's a beautiful day in the Astrodome.
Pretty good. And he never wore anything this garish, I don't think. If you hearken back to our Funky Jerseys episodes, you might have remembered Dickie Thon's jersey with
sure.
What we call the rainbow striping. Well, this is Nolan Ryan's sweater.
Nolan Ryan, no kidding.
Yeah, this would be from the early 80s. Nolan Ryan's warm-up sweater. Houston was one of the few teams that wore sweaters instead of warm-up jackets.
Wow, did everyone wear them or just pitchers?
Probably just the pitchers. I haven't seen any other players photographed wearing them. I do have a photograph of Nolan Ryan and Joe Niekro sitting together in the bullpen wearing these sweaters.
Cool.
It's a very soft sweater. Looks a lot more comfortable than most of the stuff they were asked to wear. And on this one, Nolan Ryan has signed it on the right breast. And you can see that it's just a beautiful representation of the Astros uniform in the form of a sweater.
Oh, look at that.
And there's Ryan's name sewn to the back.
I mean, how much more provenance do you need?
Well, it does have his number written in.
And it snaps, right?
It snaps, yes. And the picture shows Nolan Ryan sitting next to Joe Niekro with the snap in the exact same position. I've seen it up here, I've seen it down there, I've seen it left and right of the R. We have documentation that this is the one that he was wearing in that picture. Such a unique piece to Houston. It's got the futuristic writing in addition to the rainbow striping. It's just a beautiful example worn by the strikeout king himself, Nolan Ryan.
Strike three, you're out.
Well, thanks for busting out the Houston stuff, Mark. It's really cool.
Yeah, they really had more than their share of cool uniforms throughout the years, and I hope you've enjoyed seeing the chronology of their uniform as it evolved.
If I knew what chronology meant, yeah.